Good morning, gentlemen. Do sit down and smoke if you want. Now, let me see. You're for the prosecution, Mr. Golding.
Yes, sir.
You, Mr. Dealey, for the boy. And you, Mr. Parsons, are for the old lag.
Yes, Judge.
Now, I wanted to see if we can't do something about this case before it starts. Something's worrying me. I mean, here we have an old lag and a young foundling boy, both facing 2 serious charges. Now, the old lag, Mr. Parsons, has a list of convictions which I couldn't start to count without an adding machine. And even though they may be kept from the jury, the evidence is pretty strong against him. Now, what concerns me is that if this case is fought, this young boy is going to be dragged down by his connection with Smith. And 2 serious convictions against a boy of his tender years, well, that's not exactly a good start in life. Do you agree?
Yeah, absolutely, sir.
Yes. I imagine that the police would be satisfied and indeed are only interested to get a conviction against Smith.
Well, the boy's fingerprints were found on the weapon used on Mrs. Richards.
Yes, my question was whether the police would be satisfied if Smith were convicted.
Well, I haven't asked them, Judge, but I would certainly withdraw the charges against the boy if Smith pleaded guilty.
Then the ball is now in your court, Mr. Parsons.
Well, Judge, that cause did occur to me, and I did suggest to my client that if he pleaded guilty, I might be able to get the charges dropped against the boy, but he'd have nothing to do with it.
That's a pity. And, of course, this whole trial is at the public expense, you know.
Well, not quite, Judge. I am instructed privately. In fact, Smith paid my instructing solicitor in cash from a suitcase full of notes. And what's more, wanted to pay for the boy's costs as well, but we thought it better if he was represented separately, which of course meant legal aid.
Yes, I see.
The real point is, Judge, that Smith is very fond of this boy and is determined to fight any moves to have him taken away from him.
What's the boy's attitude towards all this?
I don't know, Judge.
You don't know. Haven't you spoken to it?
Well, as you'll have seen from this report, he's refused to speak to the staff at his school, he's refused to speak to the probation officer, and he's refused to speak to me.
Did he say nothing to you at all?
Yes, he did. He said, don't bother to ask me any questions because I'm not going to talk.
Did you ask him why?
Yes. He said that Smith had told him not to talk.
Have they seen each other since they were arrested?
No, Judge. Smith did ask to see the boy, but permission was refused.
Yes, and of course, they were arrested some months ago, weren't they? You know, one point puzzles me, Mr. Dealey. You say the boy wouldn't talk to you. Then how was it that I was informed that he intended to plead not guilty?
Well, the position is this, that I've assumed that since he's remained silent for so long, that he will continue to do so. That when the charge is put to him, he'll say nothing, remain mute.
Oh, I do hope not, Mr. Dealey. Because if he stands mute, that means we shall have to impanel a special jury to decide whether or not he is being mute of malice. Further waste of time and public money.
Precisely. And since the boy obviously does understand what this case is about, then his silence would be malicious. And therefore the plea would be one of not guilty.
Well, I can only hope that he'll start talking again when he's reunited with Smith. You're sure your client won't change his plea, Mr. Parsons?
No, Judge. He intends to plead not guilty.
Very well, then we shall just have to get on with it as it is. Will you ask everyone to come in, please? Thank you, gentlemen.
What's the point of asking my client to plead not guilty? Because he thinks he is not guilty. Claims it was self-defense. Always has been.
All stand.
Bring up the prisoners.
Before the boy is brought up, my lord, there is an application I would like to make.
Yes, Mr. Golding?
Here, where's Leo?
He is being brought up.
As prosecutor, my lord, my duty is, of course, to assist in achieving a fair trial. And in my submission, it would be wrong in principle for the boy to be placed in the dock with the adult accused.
Never.
Quiet.
Mr. Smith, you are represented by counsel. He will speak for you. Please remain silent.
Your Worship, I know I should keep my mouth shut, but me and Leo, we've been separated all this time. And I've been looking forward to this trial, and knowing that Leo and me will be sitting together in the dock for a few days. And now he gets up and says the boy can't sit with me.
Now, Mr. Smith, I have let you have your say, but from now on I want no further interruptions. Your counsel, Mr. Parsons, will look after your interests. Let him speak for you. He is very experienced in these matters.
Yes, well, I done a bit of talking myself in my time, Your Worship.
No doubt, Mr. Smith, but this is one of these occasions when it is better to leave the talking to someone else. Now sit down. Now, Mr. Golding, why is it wrong for the boy to sit in the dock with Smith?
My lord, it will give Smith an opportunity to talk with the boy. It provides him with an opportunity to influence the boy.
Mr. Dealey?
My lord, if it emerges that the boy's conduct or evidence is influenced by the other accused, then my learned friend can comment on it. But I must confess I've never heard of such an application before.
Mr. Parsons?
My lord, this application is, in my submission, quite absurd and completely novel. In every case where there are two accused, they're allowed to sit in the box together, and they have an opportunity to talk to each other. This has never been considered a ground for making them sit apart. It would be most unfair to treat my client in any way differently from any other co-accused.
Mr. Golding, have you anything to add to that?
No, my lord.
Then I reject the application. I do not consider there is any basis for treating this trial any differently from any other trial where two persons are jointly accused.
Good on you, Gov.
Smith, I warn you, if you disobey me again, I can have you removed from the court.
I'm sorry, Your Worship. I didn't mean to speak out so loud so you hear. But, yeah, there's something else I want to say. Now, before we get started...
You cannot. You have instructed counsel, and he will make any representations that he thinks are necessary on your behalf.
Yes, well, I'm sure he speaks very well, but there's some things a man's got to say for himself. So I think I'll do without him for the time being.
What you mean? Withdraw his instructions? Dismiss him? That would be most unwise.
Yes, well, I think I'll do without him just the same.
My lord, I think in the circumstances I'd better withdraw.
Smith, this would be most unwise.
Yes, well, I know a thing or two about this caper, Your Worship.
Very well, if that's what you want. You had better go, Mr. Parsons. That is, of course, if you want to.
Thank you, my lord.
Ask Mr. Parsons to stick around for a while because I might want him later on.
Well, Smith, when you're ready, perhaps you'd like to say to us whatever it is that your counsel could not say.
Yes, I'm sorry, Your Worship.
Yes, well, what is it?
Well, it is a complaint, sir.
Yes?
Yeah. Well, it's about Leo's legal representation. Now, look, me and Leo, we're not paupers, and we don't want no favours. We're not like immigrants or layabouts or old-age pensioners who haven't put enough aside for a rainy day.
Come to the point.
Well, I'm doing my best, Your Worship. Now, when Leo was arrested, I wanted to do the proper thing. A QC from London and all that because nothing's too good for this boy. But they won't let me see him. They won't let me see him, they won't let me do anything. And he ends up with a bleeding junior on the National Health.
Now, Smith, you may rest assured that your boy is ably and properly represented. It matters not to counsel whether they be privately instructed or whether they are doing it for legal aid. All that has happened is that you have saved your money.
Yes, well, it's a bloody liberty, that's what it is. Now, not letting me speak to him, not letting me pay him, not letting me have anything to do with him, a bloody liberty, that's what it is. Forcing second-rate charity down our bleeding throats.
Mr. Smith, the boy is in the care of the local authority.
Yes, and he was in my bleeding care, wasn't he, before the Roberts come along on his naughty bike and nipped him?
Now, Smith, the boy is in the care of the local authority and they have made all the necessary arrangements and that is all that there is to it. I must add that I think it is highly commendable of you to want to pay for the boy's legal representation, but please do not waste any more time. There is really nothing more to be said. Now, do you understand?
Knowing an egg is rotten don't make it taste no better, Your Worship.
Mr. Smith, the law allows you to think what you like, but not to say what you like. Now, please, there is nothing more to argue about. Do you understand? Very well. Have the boy brought up.
My lord.
Yes, Mr. Parsons?
Apparently Mr. Smith has changed his mind and wishes me to conduct his case after all.
Oh, very well. I suppose we shall have to accept the fact that he has had a change of mind. But I do hope that your client understands that he is not at liberty to take over the case every other 5 minutes. Either you conduct it or he does it entirely without you.
That point has been emphasized to him, my lord.
Very good, Mr. Parsons.
Hello, Leo. Oh, hey, kept the old wagger up, have you? Yeah, don't worry about this lot, son. But we'll soon get out of this, won't we? You leave it to old Jackie. We'll show them a thing or two, won't we?
Stand up, please. Leo Trotsky, is that your name?
Yes, mister.
Jack Smith, is that your name?
Yes, sir.
Leo Trotsky and Jack Smith, you were charged on this indictment with 2 counts. On the first count, that you jointly, on the 12th day of May, 1973, having entered as trespassers a building or premises known as Apple Trees, Apsley, in the county of Fulchester, stole therein a quantity of copper piping to the value of £150. Leo Trotsky, to that charge do you plead guilty or not guilty?
Not guilty.
Smith?
Not guilty.
On the second count, it is charged that you jointly on the 12th day of May, 1973, assaulted Irene Richards, thereby occasioning her actual bodily harm. Leo Trotsky, on that second count, do you plead guilty or not guilty?
Not guilty.
Smith?
Not guilty.
You may be seated.
At 2 a.m. on the 12th of May 1973, I was returning home from an emergency call along the Apsley-Sheppingham Road.
How? On foot?
No, my lord, on my moped. I noticed a lorry ahead of me travelling in the same direction, that is, towards Sheppingham. The vehicle was an ex-War Department 3-ton van, index number AMO95.
A van or a lorry?
My lord, it's shown on one of the agreed photographs, photograph 1. The vehicle is in fact a former mobile workshop.
I see.
Yes, officer, will you please go on?
I overtook the lorry, signalled to it to stop, and pulled into the verge. The lorry went straight past without stopping. I overtook it again, signalled to it to stop, and then pulled up across its path in the middle of the road.
Did you give the lorry plenty of distance in which to pull up?
I did, sir, yes.
And did the lorry pull up?
It appeared to slow up, sir, but it didn't stop.
You meant it kept coming towards you?
Yes, my lord.
So what did you do?
When I realised it wasn't going to stop, I let go of the moped and jumped out the way.
And what happened?
The lorry went straight over the moped, then it stopped. I went round to the off side of the lorry. The driver leant out the window and he said, "You tired of life or something, Robert?"
The driver said, "You tired of life or something, Robert?"
Yes, sir.
And what did you say?
Nothing, sir. At that moment, a patrol car arrived, Sergeant Hoskins and Police Constable Grant.
So fortunately for you, reinforcements arrived.
Reinforcements arrived, yes, sir.
Now, do you see the driver of that van in court today?
Yes, sir, in the dock.
And what happened then?
Hoskins and Grant came over. They said to Smith, "What have you done with that copper you knocked off?" Smith said, "Knocked off? He tried to commit suicide. Anyway, there he is, standing right next to you."
He appeared to have misunderstood the question.
No, sir, I think he was trying to be funny.
I see. What happened next?
Smith said, "Robert here threw his noddy bike at me."
Noddy bike.
I think he was alluding to my moped, my lord.
Another joke.
Yes, my lord.
And Robert?
Me, my lord.
Did you say anything?
I said they'd gone straight over it. Smith got out the moped, got out of his truck and came round to have a look at the moped. And it was then I noticed there was a boy with them. He came from the other side of the lorry.
And do you see that boy in court today?
Yes, sir, over there. The boy came over to the moped and he said, "There might be a few spare parts on it, Jack." Smith said, "Make him an offer then, Leo." And the boy then offered me 5 shillings for it.
I should think that made you very angry, officer. What did you say?
It was difficult not to get angry, my lord, seeing he'd run over my moped quite unnecessarily.
Yes, but what did you say?
Nothing, my lord. Losing tempers doesn't do any good.
Cool, Leo, did you hear that?
And what happened next, officer?
Sergeant Hoskins asked if he could search Smith's lorry. Smith agreed, and it was then that we found the copper.
Copper.
A large quantity of copper piping, my lord.
Oh, I see.
Sergeant Hoskins asked where Smith had got it. Smith said, "From Ernest Richards." Hoskins said, "Do you mean Ernest Richards at Apsley?" Smith said, "Yes." Hoskins said, "Have you been at Richards' scrapyard tonight?" And Smith said, "Yes."
So he admitted he'd been at Richard's scrapyard?
Yes, sir, he did. Hoskins said, "Did you steal the copper?" Smith said, "No, I paid for it." Hoskins said, "Richards says you took it without his permission." Smith said, "Does he now?" Hoskins said, "Mrs. Richards found someone stealing copper in their scrapyard half an hour ago. She says it was you and that you attacked her."
And what did Smith say?
He said, "All right, copper, I was there collecting the copper.
which I'd paid for, see, when her turns up and has a go at us without so much as a how do you do. If she's hurt, I'm sorry, but it was self-defence.
He claimed he was acting in self-defence.
Yes, my lord.
How old is this woman?
Oh, about 50, my lord.
Is she a large woman?
No, my lord, pretty small.
Did Smith suggest Mrs. Richards was armed in any way?
No, sir.
And what happened next?
Sergeant Hoskins cautioned Smith and the boy and told him he was arresting them. Neither of them made any reply.
And was that the last you had to do with the matter?
Yes, it was, sir.
Thank you, Constable.
I have no questions, my lord.
Constable, I have but a very few questions for you. When Sergeant Hoskins asked if he could search Smith's van, Smith agreed at once, did he not?
Yes, sir.
Without any hesitation?
Yes, sir.
Yes. Now, it was you, Constable, was it not, who drove the van back to the police station after Smith and the boy had been taken away?
It was a dangerous obstruction without tail lights, sir.
Yes, I quite appreciate that, officer, but will you just answer the question? Did you drive it away?
I attempted to, sir.
Ah, there was some difficulty, wasn't
It was a flaming death trap, sir.
Precisely. Now, perhaps you'll explain why.
Well, sir, the foot brake didn't operate at all.
A 3-ton lorry with no foot brake.
Yes, my lord, it could only be stopped by using the gears and the handbrake, and I may say the handbrake wasn't much good. There was no ratchet on it, and you had to hold on to it with your hand.
In short, officer, it took a long time to bring the vehicle to a standstill.
It did, sir. The first time I tried to use the brakes, I was going downhill about a quarter of a mile from the crossroads at Sheffingham, and I couldn't stop the lorry till it got to the far side of the crossroads.
Indeed, doing all you could to stop the lorry, you in fact failed and ran across a major road without stopping.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
And I may say I wouldn't like to do it again.
No, I'm sure. Now, on the night in question, it took Smith a long time to stop the van after you had signalled him to stop.
It did, sir, yes.
And the van couldn't be stopped quickly, that's right, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
And when he stopped, did Smith say to you, are you tired of life or something, Robert?
Yes, sir.
Yes. Now, if the roles had been reversed and you had been driving the van that night, do you think you could have stopped in time without running over the moped?
No, sir, I don't, to be quite honest.
No. Thank you. Now, after the lorry stopped, did Smith threaten you in any way?
No, sir.
You weren't frightened?
No, why should I be?
Well, you see, that's just what I want to know, because you did seem to agree in answer to my learned friend that reinforcements fortunately arrived.
No, I didn't, sir. I said reinforcements arrived. It was Mr. Golding who used the word fortunately.
That is correct, Mr. Parsons.
Yes, I am obliged to your lordship and to you, officer, but the fact remains you weren't frightened.
Not at all.
No, thank you.
I have no re-examination, my lord.
Thank you, Constable.
I call Ernest John Richards.
Ernest John Richards, please.
What is your religion?
CV.
Take the book in your right hand and read aloud the words on this card.
I swear by Almighty God, the evidence I give shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
Mr. Richards, what is your full name?
Ernest John Richards.
And where do you live?
The apple trees, Absolutely.
And you are a scrap metal dealer and you have a scrapyard at your home address.
Yeah.
The old bleeding place is a scrapyard.
Smith, I have already spoken to you about interrupting.
I didn't mean to interrupt, your worship. I was just passing a remark to young Leo here.
I shan't.
The place is one big scrapyard. He's got a paraffin bar full of old ball bearings under his bed.
Now, I shan't warn you again. Sit down and be quiet. Mr. Golding.
Mr. Richards?
I am in business, yeah.
Mr. Richards, how long have you known the accused?
5, 10 years. That's what puzzles me about all this.
Shall we say a good many years? And prior to the incident giving rise to this trial, were you on good terms with Smith?
Well, he ain't never caused me no trouble, if that's what you mean.
You had no quarrel over anything?
I had no quarrel with him. But you never know, there's some funny geezers about.
Mr. Richards, it is a simple question. Did you or did you not quarrel with him? Yes or no?
No, but...
The answer is no. Very well, Mr. Golding.
And did you at about the beginning of March of this year buy some 600 weight of copper?
Wolf Jimmy Dover, yeah.
And did you transport the copper to your scrapyard on about the 6th of April?
My boys did in the Land Rover,
And where did you store it?
in the old cowshed.
And did you at any time give either of the accused permission to remove it from there?
No. And I don't know why you should pretend I did. unless he reckons I sold it to him, which is a lie. I mean, he ain't got no receipt, there's no proof.
Mr. Richards, please leave the argument to me and just answer the questions. Did you at any time have any conversation with either of the accused about this copper?
Yeah, the same day.
The same day as what?
Same day as he bashed Mrs. Richards.
You mean the same day that your wife was attacked?
Yeah.
Now, she was attacked in the early morning of the 12th of May. Was the discussion with the accused on that day or the day before?
Day 4.
My lord, I should like to request that this witness give no further evidence concerning his wife's injuries, as he was not present at the time of the attack, so he can hardly say whether or not she was attacked.
Are you trying to say that she inflicted her injuries on herself?
My lord, I'm not obliged to answer that question. My point was a good one, independently of my precise defence.
Yes, yes indeed, Mr. Deary, I take your point. If it is in issue, it must not be said by this witness that Mrs. Richards was attacked. Very well, Mr. Golding.
Now, where did this conversation take place?
Jimmy Doby's place.
And where's that?
Down beyond the market at Fulchester.
And what does Jimmy Doby do?
Boozes mostly.
What is his profession?
Profession? Well, he ain't educated, if that's what you mean.
My lord, perhaps I can help my learned friend here. James Doby is yet another scrap merchant.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Parsons. A few leading questions might help, Mr. Golding.
My lord. Who was present when you had your discussion with Smith?
Well, there was Jimmy and the midget.
The midget? You mean the accused, Leo Trotsky?
Leo who? Who's he?
Mr. Richards, the person you referred to as the midget, is that the same as the boy sitting in the dock there with Smith?
Yeah, the midget, I said so.
Will you describe to us what happened?
Well, we was all sitting in Jimmy's hut having a go at the beer.
Who was drinking the beer?
We all was.
Including the midget?
Yeah.
Never. I wouldn't let him. Time and again I says, you touch that stuff, you finish up like Jimmy Doby. Yeah, what do you want to invent such wicked things for? There's no need for them.
Mr. Smith, sit down.
Right, Mr. Golding.
Tell us about the discussion, Mr. Richards.
Well, Jack here, he knew that Jimmy had sold me this collar, so he offers me 100 quid for it.
And did you agree?
Not likely, would you at that price?
And so to summarise, Smith wanted to buy the copper which Doby had sold you, and you refused.
Yeah.
Did Mr. Doby take any part in this discussion?
Oh, no, Your Honour.
But he heard all this, did he?
Well, I don't know about that, Your Honour.
But you said he was present during the conversation, so he must have heard it.
Well, there's a lot of things what goes on around Jimmy Doby what he don't know nothing about.
What you mean, he drinks so much that he is incapable? Is that what you mean?
Well, he ain't incapable of everything, Your Honour. He can always do his sums. He's very clear about figures.
He's not being called as the prosecution witness, is he?
No, my lord.
Nor for the defence?
No, my lord.
Thank you. Continue, Mr. Golding.
Now, were you at home on the night of May the 11th?
Yes, I was, and I got witnesses.
And at what time did you and your wife retire to bed?
About 10 o'clock.
Did you wake up at all during the night?
Yes, unusual, but I did, about 1:30.
And what did you do?
I went to look for Mrs. Richards.
She was no longer in bed.
Of course she knew I wasn't, otherwise I wouldn't have gone to look for her, would I?
Quite. Go on.
Well, first of all, I looked in the chicken shed. Then I was a quick gander in the stables and in the big shed at the bottom of the yard. I was just going over to the old cow shed when I heard a noise coming from the back seat of the old Riley.
Oh, that was an old Riley car, was it?
Yeah, my boys was breaking it.
Yes. Now, please go on.
Well, first of all, I thought it was some courting couples from the village. I thought I'd go and get the dog. And I thought, no, I'll just have a look. And there was Mrs. Richards, lying in the back of the Riley.
And what was she doing on the back seat?
Well, she wasn't doing nothing. She was spark out, just laying there, blood all over her face.
The case of the Queen against Smith and Trotsky will be resumed tomorrow in the Crown Court. Scrap metal dealer Jack Smith and his partner young Leo Trotsky are charged with stealing copper from another scrap metal dealer, Ernest Richards, and with assaulting his wife Irene. Mr. Richards is now giving evidence.
Mr. Richards, you say you found your wife lying unconscious, covered in blood, in the back of an old Riley car in your scrapyard. Now, when this happened, what did you do?
I went straight to the old cowshed.
Yes, and what did you find there?
I found all my copper had gone.
Excuse me, Mr. Deedy. The evidence is that when the accused Smith heard there was an allegation that he had attacked Mrs. Richards, he said, "If she's hurt, I'm sorry, but it was self-defense." Now, Mr. Richards, is your wife a large woman? I mean, can you describe her to us?
Oh, yes, Your Honour. She's, well, Mrs. Richards is normal looking.
Yes, I mean, is she a large woman? Is she big and strong?
No, I wouldn't say she was big and strong. She's, middling, I'd say.
And that is the best that you can do. Oh, very well, carry on, Mr. Deedy.
Now, the truth is it not, Mr. Richards, that you did sell that copper to Mr. Smith?
You calling me a liar?
Yes, Mr. Richards, I am.
Are you suggesting that Smith actually paid money to this witness?
No, my lord, I'm suggesting that there was a binding agreement for the sale of that copper, and that it was agreed that Smith should collect it that night, and it was also agreed that he should pay Richards within the week.
You ever heard of a scrap metal dealer want to give credit? Well, it's barking mad.
So you deny all that, do you?
You bet I do.
I see. No further questions, my lord.
Now, Mr. Richards, you've told us that Mr. Dobie took no part in the conversation in his hut. But that's not right, is it? He had a great deal to say for himself, did he not?
If you really want to know, he was laying on the floor and he never said a word.
You see, I was going to suggest that he entered into a conversation about the price of the copper, but I expect you deny that.
Yeah.
Yes. Now, it's right, isn't it, that in January 1970, you were charged in this very court with assault occasioning grievous bodily harm.
My lord, before the witness answers, I feel it is my duty to point out the perils in such a question to Mr. Parsons.
Yes, I'm much obliged, Mr. Golding. I'm sure, Mr. Parsons, you have the perils of such a question well in mind.
I have, my lord, and I'm willing to take the consequences.
Very well, Mr. Richards, you will answer the question.
Yeah. Yes, I do. What's that got to do with it?
And you pleaded not guilty, went into that witness box, and gave evidence on oath.
Yeah, and they clobbered me.
Indeed, with an 18-month prison sentence. That's right, isn't it?
Yeah, me and my boys. We all got 18 months.
Yes, you and your two sons. And you lied in that court, did you not, as you are lying here today?
Why should I lie? I never had no quarrel with them. Not till they nicked me flaming copper. We have not ever had no dispute about nothing. And I challenge you to deny that.
Well, I don't deny that, Mr. Richards. Now, your two sons are in court today, you say?
Yeah, they come along.
Yes, perhaps you could point them out to us.
Yeah, there they are over there.
Yes. Now, the quarrel which resulted in you and your sons being convicted for assault, that was about scrap, wasn't it?
Yeah, the bloke nicked it off us.
Yes, so you and your two sons worked him over.
No, we was attacked.
Oh, this one man attacked all three of you. But the jury believed it was the other way around, didn't they? In fact, isn't that what you always do, Mr. Richards, when someone steals something from you? You set your sons on them.
It's the only bit of trouble we ever had.
You deny that you habitually use violence against persons who cross you.
Emphatically.
Yes. Now tell me, do you always call your wife Mrs. Richards?
Yeah, it's her name.
But her name's Irene, isn't it? Don't you ever call her Irene?
No. She don't like it. She says it sounds like an hairdresser's assistant. It's not a respectful name, you see.
Respectful? But if you call her Mrs. Richards, that's respectful.
Yeah.
I see. Now, you hadn't told Mrs. Richards that, in fact, you had sold the copper to Smith, had you?
Well, why should I do that? That would have been making up a tale. Why should I do that?
So, naturally, she thought it was being stolen, when, in fact, you had told Smith he could collect the copper that night.
No, I never said nothing like that.
And, of course, you didn't want to tell Mrs. Richards that you really had sold it because you had been keeping it from her, dealing behind her back.
You're saying that Mrs. Richards wears the trousers, that I'm frightened of her. You must be joking. Me and my boys frightened of her.
Well, we shall see, Mr. Richards. Thank you.
Mr. Richards, do you and your wife get on well together?
All I can say is that us and the boys is a very happy family.
Thank you, Mr. Richards. I have no further re-examination, my lord.
Very well. You may leave the box, Mr. Richards.
I call Detective Sergeant Barnett.
Detective Sergeant Barnett, please.
I swear by Almighty God that the evidence I shall give shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. Albert James Barnett, Detective Sergeant, Fulchester CID.
Sergeant, did you go to Ernest Richards' scrapyard at the apple trees Apsley on the night of the 11th and 12th of May of this year?
I did, sir.
And did you find something there in what is known as the old cowshed?
Yes, sir. I found a wooden mallet.
Is that the mallet?
Yes, sir.
Exhibit 1, my lord. And did you examine the mallet, Sergeant?
Yes, sir. I found traces of blood and human hair. And after dusting it, I found fingerprints.
And were you able, as a result of subsequent tests, to say where the traces were from and whose the fingerprints were?
Yes, sir. The blood was the same group as Mrs. Richards. The hair was one of Mrs. Richards' hairs. The only fingerprints were the boys, Leo Trotsky's.
See, and I believe you visited Mrs. Richards in hospital on the afternoon of the 12th of May.
Yes, sir, I did.
Were you able to see what injuries she'd sustained?
Yes, sir. Fortunately, they weren't as serious as they might have been. She had a laceration of the skull, which has been stitched up, 18 or 20 stitches, I think it was, and a slight concussion.
And did you also interview the boy, Leo Trotsky, at 6 p.m. on the 12th of May?
I did, sir. I saw him at Fulchester Police Station. I told him I wanted to ask him some questions, but that he needn't answer them if he didn't wish to. But that if he did answer, his answers would be taken down and given in evidence at his trial.
Taken down, twisted and read out, Leo.
Did you say something, Smith?
Not out loud, your worship. Here, I was only whispering to young Leo here.
That is not what I call a whisper, Smith. Now, I have been very patient with you, but my patience is running out. Do you understand?
I'm sorry, your worship. I didn't mean to cause no trouble.
Very well. Go on, Mr. Golding.
And did the boy say anything?
Yes, sir. I asked him, who hit Mrs. Richards with the mallet last night? And he said, me. I then asked if there'd been a fight beforehand, and he said, no, we heard her coming. Jack said, get behind the door, and when she came in, I whopped her. I know it was wrong. I then terminated the interview.
Now, I think it's right, isn't it, that after the interview you conveyed the boy to Agnew's school, where he remained until the 5th of June, when he absconded.
Correct, sir.
And the boy had been made subject to a temporary order putting him into the care of the local authority.
Yes, sir.
And on the 20th of June, were you at Fulchester?
Yes, sir. I was out shopping with my wife when I caught sight of the boy. I knew he'd gone missing. The little blighter led us a real song and dance. But in the end we found him, hiding in the dustbins behind Woolworths.
Thank you, Sergeant.
Sergeant, the evidence that you have given of a conversation with Leo Trotsky is a complete fabrication, is it not?
No, sir.
Because when you saw the boy, he maintained a complete silence to all your questions, didn't he?
No, sir. He said that.
Look, are you aware that this boy refused to speak to the staff at his school, and that he would only give his name to the probation officer?
Yes, sir, I heard.
So what was it about you, Sergeant, that produced such startlingly different results?
I've no idea, sir. I've got children of my own. Perhaps that was it.
Oh. Sergeant, it is usual, is it not, that when a policeman interviews a minor, for an adult member of the public to be present?
I suppose that happens more often than not, sir, yes.
And you strayed from this usual procedure, did you not, so that you could concoct this evidence?
No, sir, there was just nobody about at the time. At 6 o'clock, all the civilian staff had gone home.
At the very least, you could have asked another member of the police force to have been present.
I suppose I could have, yes.
Then why didn't you?
Well, I didn't think it was that important. I wasn't going to do anything improper.
Except to fabricate a piece of evidence against a child, Inspector. No further questions, my lord.
No cross-examination, my lord.
Sergeant, is there any truth whatsoever in the suggestion that you have fabricated evidence against this boy?
None whatsoever, sir.
Thank you, Sergeant. Do you have any questions, my lord?
No, thank you, Mr. Golding. Thank you, Sergeant. You may go.
I call Irene Richards.
What is your religion?
Presbyterian.
Take the book in your right hand and read aloud the words on this card.
Can't see without my glasses.
Very well. Repeat after me. I swear by Almighty God
Swear by Almighty God
that the evidence I shall give
that the evidence I shall give
shall be the truth,
Shall be the truth.
The whole truth.
The whole truth.
And nothing but the truth.
And nothing but the truth.
Mrs. Richards, I'm over here.
Oh, sorry.
Mrs. Richards, is it right that your full name is Irene Richards and that you live with your husband, Ernest Richards, at the Apple Trees, Apsley?
Yes.
Have you quite recovered from your injuries, Mrs. Richards?
Yes, thank you, mister.
Mrs. Richards, were you at home on the night of the 11th and 12th of May of this year?
First part I was, mister. Second half I was in the hospital having my head stitched. Would you like to have a look at
No,
it?
thank you, Mrs. Richards. Now, will you tell us slowly and in your own words about the first part of that evening?
You want to know what happened when we went to bed, don't you? I mean, it's no use me telling you what we had for our supper now, is it?
Now, Mrs. Richards, it's not so much what happened when you went to bed that interests us, but what happened when you got up.
I heard something going on in the yard.
And what time was this?
Don't know, but it was the middle of the night.
Now, did you know that your husband had got this load of copper?
Of course I did.
And as far as you knew, he hadn't sold it to anyone?
Sold it? He hadn't sold it. I'd have known if he had.
But you mean he always told you what was going on?
Of course he did.
Now, when you heard something going on outside, did you wake up your husband?
Ern? Him? Waking him up at that time would be trying to launch the Queen Mary all on your own Todd.
So, when you woke up, what did you do?
Well, we'd a few gear boxes and bits and pieces missing lately, so I put on my clothes. Oh, I can do that very quick, you know. And out I went. And there was a lorry bin loaded with scrap in the track behind the old cow shed.
Now, did you see this lorry?
No, but I heard it. And I should know the sound of a lorry bin loaded. Though, mind you, they weren't making that much of a noise, as they were trying to be quiet.
I see. So what did you do?
Pushed open the cow shed door and got a glimpse of who was inside.
You saw some people inside?
Yes, mister.
And then what happened?
I got hit on the head, didn't I?
You felt a blow on the head and became unconscious?
And the two people you saw in the old cowshed that night, can you see them in court today?
Might have I had my glasses. Ern has them. Ern. That's him up there. No mistaking then.
That you attacked either of the two accused?
Yes, sir, of course.
But you did believe that the copper was being stolen?
Wasn't been borrowed, was it?
But you believed that because your husband hadn't told you that in fact he'd sold it?
Why should he tell me lies?
Well, did your husband always tell you everything that went on?
Of course. And the boys, too. They always tell me everything, in case anything happens.
So if he didn't tell you, you'd be very angry?
I don't know what I'd be, since he's never done it now, do I?
I see. Thank you, Mrs. Richards.
Mrs. Richards, you realize that it follows from what you say that this young boy has been party to a violent attack upon you?
Of course.
And do you have any reason to invent such allegations against the boy, knowing the consequences for him?
Look, mister, I've got sons of my own, and I wouldn't harm any child. But one thing's certain, this is the best thing could have happened to that boy, now that he's put in care and school and get a good...
Mrs. Richards, that is no concern of yours. Now, members of the jury, you must appreciate that a temporary order was made, putting their boy into the care of the local authority, not a permanent one.
But it will be when Jack Smith gets what's coming to him. And a good thing, too, if you ask me.
Thank
I
you,
know
Mrs. Richards. That is enough.
Yes, yes. Thank you, Mrs. Richards. You may leave the box.
Thank you, mister.
That is the case for the prosecution, my lord.
Thank you, Mr. Golding. Now, Mr. Dealey.
My lord, I have a submission to make.
Yes.
My submission is this, that with regard to my client, there is no case to answer.
No case to answer. Mr. Dealey, there is a mass of evidence against your client for the jury to consider.
There is indeed a mass of evidence, my lord, but there is no evidence to show that the child is over 10 years of age. And of course, a child under 10 cannot be convicted of a crime. Indeed, he cannot even commit a crime.
Yes, I see. I must confess that that had not occurred to me. Well, now...
My lord, these are, of course, very serious charges for this child to face. And in my submission, There must be very clear evidence as to the child's age before these charges are left to the jury.
Yes, well, a person's age is usually proved by the production of a birth certificate. I could allow the prosecution time to produce a birth certificate.
My lord, no, there is no birth certificate for this boy. It would appear that his birth was never registered.
Besides, my lord, I think it would be quite improper for the prosecution to reopen their case.
Yes, I suppose the accused, Smith, knows the age of the boy.
Well, that would depend, my lord, upon whether he was there at the birth or not.
Yes, Mr. Dealey, you're quite right.
My lord, my submission would release this boy from his present position of being threatened with 2 serious convictions at the very outset of his life.
Yes, I am well aware of that, Mr. Dealey. I am here to apply the law. I am right, am I not, Mr. Golding, in saying that a jury is entitled to draw its own conclusions as to a boy's age from his appearance?
My lord, yes.
Well, then I think we'd better have a look at him. Leo, will you come down into the well of the court, please? Now come down here and don't be afraid. Look up at me.
That boy's 14 a bit a day.
Mr. Dealey, I reject your submission. I mean, if it was an obvious case where the boy looked to be 5 or 6, then I would have allowed your submission. But the case is not as obvious as that, and I'm afraid it is the jury that must make up their mind as to how old the boy is, not me.
Very well, my lord. Leo, would you go into the witness box, please?
Now, members of the jury, if children understand the oath, they can give sworn evidence. If they do not understand the oath, then they may give unsworn evidence. Now, it is for me to decide whether they should be sworn, but you should listen very carefully so that you can make up your mind about the reliability of what he does say. Now, boy, do you know what is meant by being sworn in a court of law?
Oh, yes, sir. It's when you say, I swear to speak the truth, so help me God.
Do you know who God is?
Of course I do. If you asked him nicely, he'll do things for you.
Would you show him the book, please? Do you know what that is?
I can't read nothing, mister.
Really?
Yeah. Moses and the bulrushes, Leo, you know. Daniel and the lions and
Now,
all
Smith,
that, son.
I know you're trying to help, but it'd be better if you did not interrupt. Well, boy?
The Bible.
Yes, that's right. It is part of the Bible, the New Testament. Do you know what that is?
It's all about Jesus and what was persecuted, like Jack and me.
Yes. Well, never mind about that. Now, you do realize, do you, that it is considered very wrong, indeed a crime, if someone takes the oath and then does not tell the truth?
Yes, sir. Jack says you can go to prison for telling lies to judges.
Very well. Let him be sworn.
Take the book in your right hand and repeat after me. I promise before Almighty God.
I promise before Almighty God.
To tell the truth.
To tell the truth.
The whole truth.
The whole truth.
And nothing but the truth.
And nothing but the truth.
Leo, your full name is Leo Trotsky?
Yes, mister.
Now, where do you live, Leo?
In Jack's wagon.
That's in the lorry that you were in the night the police stopped you? How long have you lived with Jack Smith?
Dunno.
Can you remember living with anyone else, Leo?
No.
Now, can you remember going to Jimmy Doby's earlier this year?
Yeah.
Do you remember conversation between Mr. Richards and Jack about copper? Can you tell us about that conversation?
Mr. Richards sold us a copper and said we could go and get it the same day.
Did you pay for it?
No, we was to pay later.
Can you remember anything else about that?
No.
And did you go and collect it the same night?
Me and Jack did.
And that's when Mrs. Richards came upon you?
Yeah.
Now, what happened?
I hit her with a mallet.
Yes, Leo, but could you tell us exactly what happened?
Well, I was keeping cave, you see, when I heard her coming, so I got behind the door with the mallet.
Is that what you told Sergeant Barnett?
Didn't say nothing to him.
What do you mean he's making all that up?
He's put the verbals on me, that's what he's done.
Yes. He's saying that Sergeant Barnett made it all up.
Leo, Sergeant Barnett also said that you told him that there hadn't been a fight beforehand. Now, is that true?
I didn't say that.
Or was there a fight beforehand? Can you describe it to us, Leo?
Well, it all happened very sudden. I can't remember nothing much.
All right, Leo. Please stay there.
No cross-examination, my lord.
Mr. Golding?
Now, Leo, you know there's no need for you to protect Jack Smith. He was looking after himself for a good many years before you came along. So why don't you tell us the truth?
I am telling the truth.
No, you're not, Leo. You told us that you never said anything to Sergeant Barnett. Now, that's not true, is it?
I didn't say nothing.
The truth is that when you and Jack Smith were together in the cowshed and you heard Mrs. Richards coming, you got behind the door and struck her with the mallet as soon as she entered. And she didn't raise a finger against either of you, did she?
She was fighting.
You do know it would have been wrong to take this copper without having bought it, without Mr. Richards' permission. And you knew that on May the 12th. And you also knew that it's wrong to hit someone with a mallet.
Not if she's fighting.
Leo, how old are you?
My lord, that question is quite inadmissible.
Yes,
The boy's answer can only be hearsay.
You are quite right, Mr. Dealey.
Well, my lord, how can I establish the boy's age if I cannot ask him?
Mr. Golding, that is your problem and not mine. I'm not here to give advice to the prosecution, but you could ask him how many Christmases he remembers.
Yes, that might indeed help, my lord. Leo, how many Christmases can you remember?
Dunno.
A lot?
Dunno.
I see. Well, now what was your best present last Christmas?
Transistor.
And the Christmas before?
Sky-electric.
Toy racing cars.
And the Christmas before?
Norman.
Who or what is Norman?
A nanny goat.
A goat? A live one?
My lord, I am instructed it is a live goat. My client and the boy kept it on the common.
Where is the goat now?
My lord, it had to be put down.
Oh, dear me. Couldn't somebody be found to look after it?
Well, unfortunately, my lord, most people seem reluctant to provide homes for goats.
Yes, I see. Go on, Mr. Golding.
And what did you get the Christmas before the goat?
Dunno.
Or before that?
Dunno.
I see. Well, now, how many Christmases can you remember, Leo? 9? 10?
1, 2, 5.
The last 5? Well, that didn't get you very far, did it, Mr. Golding?
No, I'm afraid not, my lord. Well, now tell me, Leo, wouldn't you like to live in that nice school instead of on the common in that old lorry?
I like being with Jack.
Well, did you make any friends when you were at that school in Fulchester after you were arrested? Did you like being at that school?
Bit.
I see. And you do know that you could have gone to school before if Jack had let you. And you know that he's not your father.
He's better than my father and my mother. They ran off and left.
But you don't have to look after him, so why don't you tell me the truth?
I'm not saying any more. You're persecuting us so Jack will get sent down and I'll get put in the care. I'm not saying any more.
I see. Very well. No further questions.
If you liked school a bit, Leo, and you had some friends, why did you run away?
Because of Norman.
It's the goat.
I wanted to stop him killing him, so I went over to Shepman and Common.
But that's 20 miles from the school. How did you get there?
Walked.
And what happened when you got there?
Nothing. He weren't there. They'd already killed him.
Oh, I see. Thank you, Leo. Have you any further questions, my lord?
No, thank you, Mr. Dealey. Thank you, Leo. You may go back to your seat. Mr. Parsons?
My lord, members of the jury, I shan't take up your time with speeches. I'll call my client immediately. I'm sure you're all anxious to hear from someone who can tell you the real age of the boy and exactly what happened on the night of the 11th, 12th of May.
The case of the Queen against Smith and Trotsky will be resumed tomorrow in the Crown Court. Scrap metal dealer Jack Smith and a boy whom he calls Leo Trotsky are jointly charged with stealing copper from another scrap dealer, Ernest Richards, and with assault upon his wife Irene. It's not been possible for the prosecution to establish the boy's age with any certainty, and the defence contend that he is under 10 and therefore cannot be convicted of any crime. The last day of the trial has just begun, and Smith has just been called to give his long-awaited evidence about, amongst other things, the age of the boy Leo Trotsky.
Now, Mr. Smith, it is your turn to talk and to tell us what you want.
Much obliged, Your Worship. Now, I hope these here ladies and gentlemen understand that it is not my fault they have been kept in suspense.
I am sure that they understand that very well, Mr. Smith.
Members of the jury, what you all want to know is how I come by the boy.
No, Mr. Smith. You must let Mr. Parsons take you through your evidence.
Yeah, but you, sir, I could say all that.
Subject to the rules of criminal procedure.
Oh.
Very well, Mr. Parsons.
Well, Mr. Smith, I think you've started in the right place. If you tell my lord and the jury how you came by the boy, as you put it.
Yes. Members of the jury, imagine a dark and stormy night in the middle of the winter.
Which winter?
Well, I'm coming to that, Your Worship. Well, I'm driving along, and it is raining so hard, it's like being in a boat with the water pouring all over when I sees this bit of crumpet thumbing. Now, you know, things in the dark don't look the same. And I says to myself, now, here is a likely-looking bit of crumpet in distress.
So you stopped?
Yes. But I knew straight away I made a bleeding mistake. She can't get up in the truck, so I goes round, and I sees right away it's not a likely-looking bit of crumpet at all, but a bleeding old boot if ever there was one. So I thinks, right, I'll get back in the truck and scarp her, and then I thought, well, it's bleeding midnight, it's bleeding rain, and she's bleeding miles away from nowhere, so I gives her the hump up in the truck, and away we goes.
Are we to understand that this lady was the boy's mother?
Incredible but true, Your Worship. There is no two creatures more different than this young lad and that old lump. Now, where was I?
Well, you were just telling us, Mr. Smith, that you were giving this lady a lift.
Oh, yes. Well, we're driving along and talking a bit, and I finds pretty quick I've been lumbered. It's 19 years old, left home in Glasgow when it's 16, got no money, been living with a bloke what kicked it out when she got pregnant, and there she is all moaning and wet through. So I pulls up, goes round the back, because I've got a bottle of whiskey round there, and I thought, well, I'll give her a shot of that now, that might liven her up. But when I got back round, she's all slumped.
Mr. Smith, what was this woman's name?
Mary.
Mary what?
I don't know, Your Worship, she didn't say.
Oh, I see.
Yes.
Go on.
Yes. Well, well, she's all slumped over there, and I'm bending over her, and she puts her two hands round my throat and starts to throttle me. Well, I'm all ready to clobber her with the starting handle when she lets out a bleeding great scream and lets go. I says, blimey, here, she's having kittens.
But you mean she was actually in labour?
Yes.
Well, did you then drive her back to where you were living in Shrippingham Common?
Yes.
And was your mother alive and living with you at that time?
Yes, she was in a caravan.
Yes. Now, did your mother deliver the child?
Oh, I does it. You see, my poor old mum, she's got the arthritis in her hands and she can't do much, but she tells me what to do and I does it.
Yes, I see. And when was this?
December the 28th, 5 o'clock in the morning, 1963.
So Leo won't be 10 until the end of December this year?
Exactly. And childs of 9 years old cannot be clobbered by the law. They're not responsible, see?
What happened to the mother?
Well, she scarpered the next day while I sat, Your Worship.
Leaving you and your mother to look after the boy?
Yes, I've had him ever since.
Yes. Now, Mr. Smith, I'd like you to tell the court about this copper. Now, it's right, is it not, that as Mr. Richards said, you did meet him at Jimmy Dobie's scrapyard on the 11th of May?
Yes, that's right, we was there. Yeah, but Leo wasn't drinking no beer like he said.
Yes, quite. Now, did you ask Mr. Richards to supply you with a quantity of copper?
Well, he did bleed and supply, didn't he? After a bit of argy-bargy.
And what were the terms?
The terms was cash next week.
How much?
100 nicker.
Yes, and was anything said about collection or delivery?
Yes, he said I could pick it up that night, so long as I was nice and quiet.
Now, will you please tell us what happened that night?
Well, I says to Leo, now what about we go out tonight and pick up the copper? Leo said, OK, so off we went.
Yes, and what time did you set out?
11 o'clock about.
And what happened when you got there? I mean, to the Richards place.
Yes, well, we started loading her up.
By her, you mean the lorry?
Yes. Me and Leo's in this old cow shed when this bleeding brick come flying over and near knocks old Leo on the bonce. Yeah, and well, the next thing we know, there's Irene swinging at us with a bleeding crowbar.
What, you mean a usual size of crowbar, about 3 feet long?
Yes, bleeding lethal she was, cursing and swearing. Oh, I was ashamed to be there. Well, she takes the swing at me, I duck, she lets go, the bleeding bar goes whirling up, knocks an old car door what's hanging up right down onto poor old Leo. I'm trying to pick Leo up, thinking we're back in business again now she's let go the bar, when all of a sudden she lets go the old 1, 2, 3 right on me bleeding nose. And I goes down, and the next thing I know she's standing over me with a bleeding crowbar ready to brain me. And then she goes all limp and falls on top of me. And I says, blimey, I know it's not a bit of sex she's after. And I screws myself around and I looks up and I sees Leo with a mallet, and I know he's clocked her.
And that's the truth of the matter.
That's the bleeding truth, the old bleeding truth, and none of it's not the bleeding truth.
One last question. Is your mother still alive?
No, Governor. She passed away just 2 years ago.
Yes, I see. Thank you, Mr. Smith.
Dealey?
No questions, my lord.
Mr. Golding?
My lord, in my cross-examination of this witness, I propose to take a certain course which I would not have been able to take had it not been for the manner in which Mr. Richards was cross-examined. However, before I begin, I feel it is only right to allow my learned friend, Mr. Parsons, the opportunity to object.
Yes, well, it seems to me that you are entitled to take such a course. What do you say, Mr. Parsons?
My lord, I don't think I can oppose my learned friend in all the circumstances.
Very well, Mr. Golding.
Mr. Smith, this is not the first time that you've appeared in a criminal court or told lies on oath, is it?
I've been convicted, yes, but I ain't told no lies.
Really? Well, I shall read out some excerpts from your record, and you just tell me if you think there are any errors in what I read. 1939, larceny of a bicycle, fine £10. 1939, larceny of a gas mask, a bottle of sherry and a hat, fine £10. 1940, larceny of 10,000 cigarettes, the property of the NAFI, discharged from the services and 2 years imprisonment. 1948, common assault, conditional discharge. 1956, burglary, probation. 1957, assault occasioning actual bodily harm and breach of probation, 2 years. 1959, drunk in charge with 139 offences of indecent exposure taken into consideration. Probation on condition of psychiatric treatment. 1960, larceny of a motor car, 2 years. Now, that is all correct, isn't it?
No, you forgot my traffic offences. You know, on May the 12th, all the bad breaks in that.
Well, I wasn't going to mention your driving record. I think I've got quite enough material as it is, don't you? Now, on some of these occasions, let's take 1960, larceny of a motor car. You pleaded not guilty, did you not?
Yes.
And you went into the witness box, took the oath, and gave evidence denying your guilt.
Yes.
And the jury disbelieved you. They found you guilty. They found that you had lied.
Well, that's their bleeding fault, isn't it?
And juries disbelieved your evidence on oath in 1956 and 1957.
Look, I'm an honest man. And when I get nicked, if I don't, I owns up. Like them times when I pleaded not guilty, I wasn't bleeding guilty. It's no good them trying to blame me because the jury got it all wrong.
Oh, so you're the victim of a series of tragic mistakes, I see. But at any rate, you'll agree it is an appalling record.
Yeah, them indecent exposures, I didn't do none of them.
Then why on earth did you admit to them?
Well, Your Worship, when I got nicked that time, I knew the Roberts had a long list of unsolved crimes on their books. So I said, "Here, you got any unsolved crimes you want to get rid of?" And they said, "Yeah, here, have a look at them, all them indecent exposures." So I said, yeah, I'll say I did them. Yeah, I'm the fella. Yeah, and the Roberts, they was that grateful. You should have heard them telling the old magistrate I was the nicest Turk they ever seen.
Yes, I see. Oh, Mr. Golding.
Now, can we deal with the age of this boy?
Yeah, ready when you are, Gov.
Now, I gather with your vast experience of the law, Mr. Smith, that you know, and have no doubt known for years, that a child under 10 cannot be convicted of a crime.
That's right, Governor.
And for the same reason, you know how difficult it is to prove the age of this child.
I did not know that, Governor.
Oh, come now, Mr. Smith, of course you did. And now you're relying on the fact that you can get away with lying about his age to get him off.
Everything I told you is the honest truth.
Mr. Smith, a pregnant, anonymous hitchhiker who who vanishes the moment her child is born. It's all too convenient. It's a downright lie, all of it.
Well, if she's not his mother, I don't know who is. It ain't me.
And then there's this story about how you purchased the copper from Richards on credit. Now, you and he are both scrap metal dealers. Do you ever give credit?
No, but he does.
Oh? Has he ever given you credit before?
No.
And why did you need credit? When you were arrested, you had enough funds on you to put your lawyer, to pay for your lawyer through this whole trial, did you not?
Yes, well, what's wrong with having a bit of cash?
Precisely. Then why ask Richards for credit?
Because I didn't have the cash on me at the time.
If what you're saying is true, Mr. Richards is telling lies. Mr. Richards is framing you. And yet you've never had any quarrel with him, have you? So why should he do that?
Yes, well, I've been thinking about this, and the way I see it is this. Irene's the one what wears the trousers. Now, he tries to do a bit of business on the side without her knowing. And when she sees us picking up the copper, he pretends he doesn't sell it.
You're saying Mr. Richards is frightened of his wife?
Well, I should bleeding well think so after what she nearly done to young Leo and me. Now, look, Governor, if you're in the scrap business and someone nicks something, you don't go running to the Roberts about it. It's much better just to bash him. So the fact that Richards went to the Roberts proves that I have not done it.
You'd bash someone who got in your way, would you?
Yes, if they nicked something.
Or if someone like Mrs. Richards surprised you when you were nicking something?
No, hey, that was self-defence, that was.
Oh, really?
Yes.
And are you trying to tell us that a small woman savagely attacked you with a 3-foot crowbar? Can't you think of anything that has the ring of truth?
Yeah, everything I told you about that woman is true.
The fact is, isn't it, Mr. Smith, that you've always lived by petty thieving and violence, and that is what you were doing on this occasion, and that is the example you have set that boy.
I've been a villain, yes. But ever since that boy come along, I've gone straight. You just look at my record you read out. It stopped when I came out of Dankworth in 1962. I've been criticised about what I've done for this boy or what I haven't done for this boy. He can't read, I know that. But I tried to learn him. But he just don't take kindly to books. But I brought him up strong and healthy, and he's real sharp so he can look after himself. And he knows a nice bit of scrap when he sees it too. There's much more to life than what you get out of books and what they try to push down your throat in schools. And he's not contaminated with television neither, because I don't let him watch it. Well, maybe I've been wrong, I don't know. But when this is over, I fixed to go down to Wales. Down to my sister's place. She's got a big house there, and she's got kids of her own. And there's a good school there. And Leo can have paid lessons until he catches up with the other kids. That's if I'm not convicted and young Leo is not put into care for something which neither of us has done.
No further questions.
No re-examination, my lord. That is my case.
You may go back to the dock now, Smith.
Yes, thank you, sir.
Mr. Golding, we haven't quite reached the stage of speeches yet. There is one material witness who has not been called, Mr. James Doby, who was present when Richards and Smith discussed the copper. I've had him brought to court, and I propose to call him myself. Will you now please call James Doby?
James Doby, please.
Let him be sworn.
What is your religion? Take the book in your right hand and read aloud the words on this card.
I swear by Almighty God, the evidence I shall give shall be the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth.
Now, what is your full name, Mr. Doby?
James Alfred Doby, sir.
And where do you live?
15A, Sydney Street, Fawlty, sir.
And you are a scrap merchant with a scrapyard at that address?
Yes, sir.
Do you remember an occasion on the 11th of May this year when Ernest Richards and Jack Smith were at your yard?
No, sir.
An occasion when Smith negotiated to buy copper from Ernest Richards?
No, sir.
Are you saying there never was such an occasion, or that you don't recall that occasion?
No, I don't recall it, sir.
Did you sell any copper to Richards this year?
Very likely, sir. But I couldn't swear on oath.
Well, Mr. Smith says he and Richards had a discussion about the copper and that you discussed the price with them. And he goes on to say Jimmy Doby was lying on the floor and he didn't say a word. Now, can you assist us about this?
No, that's a lie. I mean, I might have been drunk. I can be paralytic, but I never stopped talking.
Mr. Doby, cannot you recall anything of this?
No, sir. But it's a lie.
Very well, Mr. Doby. You may go.
Thank you, sir. Can anyone tell me the time? Is it after 11:30?
Yes, it is, Mr. Doby. It is after opening time.
Thank you, sir. Sorry I couldn't help, sir.
Well, I can see now why none of you called him as a witness. Very well, Mr. Golding.
My lord, members of the jury, in spite of the shoal of red herrings cast by my two learned friends, this is a straightforward case, a case of theft and assault. A clear case made somewhat cloudy by the defendant's absurd stories. Take his tale of the alleged sale of copper, a sale by a scrap dealer on credit, an agreement that the scrap should be collected surreptitiously at night, that night. Take the assault. Do you really believe his story that Mrs. Richards, a small woman, attacked he and the boy with a crowbar? It's not really credible, is it? Now, what about the boy? He admitted to me that he knew it was wrong to steal or to attack people. So the only question is his age. Well, he certainly looks 10, doesn't he? And the only evidence that he's not so is that of Smith, a man with a lengthy record of criminal offences and previous unsuccessful attempts to talk his way out of tight corners. Members of the jury, in my submission, the evidence is clearly all one way, and I therefore ask for a verdict of guilty on all counts.
Thank you, Mr. Golding. Mr. Dealey?
My lord, members of the jury, you may remember that earlier in this case I made a submission to the effect that there was no case to answer with regard to my client on the grounds of age. Now, I contend that my submission still holds good. However, it is for you and for you alone to decide the age of Leo Trotsky. Now, here is a most unfortunate child who has become the victim of circumstances beyond his control or his understanding. He's illegitimate, he was abandoned by his mother, and he's lacking in any education whatsoever. Now, whether you question his lifestyle or his motives, Jack Smith has been Leo Trotsky's only salvation. He's given him a home, a sense of security, and as we have seen in this court today, he's given him genuine love and affection. And Leo Trotsky, on his part, has returned that love and affection and given his loyalty to Mr. Smith. It is obvious the boy has lived with Mr. Smith all his life. Despite the fact that the prosecution has tried to discredit this story, there was no evidence brought forward to contradict it. And the boy himself can remember living with no one else but Jack Smith all his life. Members of the jury, I contend that Leo Trotsky is under 10 years of age and cannot be convicted of a crime. But if you have any doubts concerning the boy's age, they must be to his benefit. If you convict this boy, the tragedy begun the day after he was born will be complete. You must return a verdict of not guilty.
May it please your lordship. Members of the jury, you have two simple questions to answer. Did my client steal this copper, or did he assault Mrs. Richards? Now, my learned friend has made much moment of Mr. Smith's prison record, but let me remind you that he's had no convictions against him since he became Leo Trotsky's father. Because you must realize, members of the jury, that no matter what you think or what anyone else thinks about the manner in which this boy has been brought up, Jack Smith and Leo Trotsky have become father and son. Now, for nearly 10 years, my client has looked after the interests of this boy, and during that time, no criminal charges were brought against him. So why should he suddenly revert to a life of crime, knowing that if convicted, he'd lose custody of his adopted son? And having seen the bond that exists between them, you will realize that it is a very high price for him to pay, and if I may add, an even higher price for Leo Trotsky to pay. And you also may ask why he should steal from a man who himself was admitted to being a close friend of my client's for many years. I would also ask you to recall, members of the jury, that on the night the police stopped his van, he immediately allowed the van to be searched. He immediately admitted that the copper had come from Richard's scrapyard. Now, surely not the actions of a thief. Now, you may have thought at first it seemed ludicrous for a grown man and a boy to have to defend themselves against a normal-looking, middling lady. But having seen and heard her, I am sure, like me, none of you would like to meet this particular middling lady wielding a 3-foot crowbar on a dark night. Now, it is not for you, members of the jury, to decide why Richard is lying about the sale of this copper. If you believe my client's story to be remotely true, even remotely true, you must find him not guilty. Because to find him guilty, it must be beyond all reasonable doubt. And I am therefore confident that you will find him not guilty.
Thank you, Mr. Parsons. Now, members of the jury, in this case you must, before you can convict, be satisfied beyond reasonable doubt that Smith and the boy stole the load of copper, and that the injuries that they inflicted on Mrs. Richards were inflicted other than in the exercise of the right to use reasonable force in self-defense. Now, if you are satisfied over these matters, then your verdict will be for Smith guilty. But you will have to consider further the position of the boy before you could convict him. For a verdict of guilty to be appropriate in his case, you would have to be satisfied beyond reasonable doubt that at the time of the alleged offences he was over 10 years old, and that he knew that what he was doing was wrong. Will you now retire to consider your verdict?
All stand. Members of the jury, will your foreman please stand? Just answer this question, yes or no. Have you reached a verdict upon which you are all agreed?
Yes.
On the first count of theft, do you find the accused Leo Trotsky guilty or not guilty?
Not guilty.
And in the same count, do you find the accused Jack Smith guilty or not guilty?
Not guilty.
On the second count of assault occasioning actual bodily harm, do you find the accused Leo Trotsky guilty or not guilty?
Not guilty.
And on the same account, do you find the accused Jack Smith guilty or not guilty?
Not guilty.
Very well, Smith, you may go, and the boy will be returned to the school.
Don't worry. Keep your wagger up, son. We'll soon.
Next week, a chance for you to join another jury in assessing the facts when our cameras return to watch a leading case in the Crown Court.